Good afternoon. This is Victor quarantining in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, the Lord put on my heart to do a series of short, informative videos to help equip God's people to be more effective in the harvest. People are fearful right now. They're lonely. They need answers. Who has the answers? Well, the government doesn't. Nobody else does except the church, the saints of God. You have the answers for what people need. And look, here's a series of ways to contact us and resources, and I'm going to share a quick resource with you today. But I want to quickly bring you remembrance to 9/11. Those of us that were around at that time, people flooded into church services for a few weeks after that, but then the fruit was short-lived. What happened? To have lasting fruit, God's people need to know how to be good harvesters, how to be fishers of men. Surveys say that 98% of believers do not share their faith. 98% have never led somebody personally to Christ. Well, this is not fulfilling the command that Jesus called to go and make disciples. And most people, when they are asked why not, why don't they share their faith, they don't feel confident or competent. Hence, one of the reasons why I'm doing this little video right now. There's only two kinds of people in the world. There are those that know Christ and those that don't know Christ. There's the lost and the saved. That's it. It's simple. And here's the thing. People that know Jesus, they desperately need to be discipled. They desperately need to be equipped and taught how to be effective. And of course, people that don't know Jesus, they need the Lord. They need the Lord. And so I'm going to teach you about two different stories. The first is your story, and the second one is God's story. In other words, your story, your personal testimony, and then God's story. And in the No Place Left training that we do, we teach people a very quick 15-second testimony. That's right, 15 seconds. Because oftentimes when we're gaining people's attention, we don't have a lot of time. And so it looks something like this. There was a time in my life when I was angry and unloved. But I heard about the person of Jesus. I chose to follow him. And now I know that I'm loved, and more than that, I have a purpose in my life. Do you have a story like that? Now, that was somewhere between 15 and 30 seconds. Here's the thing. If you can create, if you can formulate, if you can know your testimony, what's the key 2 points about you before you came to Christ, how you heard about Jesus, what happened that you committed to follow him, and then what changed in your life after coming to know Jesus. If you can get that simple testimony down, you're going to be very effective. And this little question right here invites people into more of a dialogue. Hey, do you have a story like this? And so here's what I'm going to encourage you to do this week. I'm going to encourage you to create your own 15-second testimony, to practice it. I'm going to encourage you to get on social media and connect with people, or do the old-fashioned thing, call them on the phone or call them on Facebook Messenger, engage them, encourage them, offer to pray for them. If they're a believer, ask them, hey, I'm practicing my story. Would you like to hear it? It only takes 15 to 30 seconds. And then you share your story and encourage them to formulate their story as well, okay? In other words, let's do a little bit of mini discipleship with those believers we know. And the people that don't know Christ, I'm challenging you to reach out to them, share your testimony, and that's going to open the door for them to ask you other questions. You ask them questions and lead into the gospel, God's story. And in the next video, I'm going to share a very simple and powerful tool, how to share God's story. All right, be blessed. I wish you all kinds of fruit, and be encouraged. Doors are opening wide for the gospel. We're hearing reports all over the world about what God is doing in the nations through this pandemic, this crisis, this tragedy. But again, we know the Prince of Peace. We have the answer, and it's Jesus Christ. Let us use this for the purpose of extending God's kingdom. See you next time.